Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, and in this video we're going to go through my top 5 games for 2017. Been planning this video for quite a while, although planning it doesn't really go into it. I thought, yeah, I'll do one of these videos, and then that was as far as I've got, so I'm like kind of throwing it all together in one day, but I kind of knew which games I wanted to pick anyway. So these are in any particular order really, although I will give a number 1 spot to a certain game. And these aren't all games that are necessarily made this year, they're just the games that I've really enjoyed playing this year. So the first game on the list has to be for me Battlefield 1. Now I know that there are a lot of people out there that played this game and instantly went off it. Other people give it a few months and then got tired of it. And I think one of the reasons for people getting tired of it was because we waited so long for the first lot of DLC to drop for this game. It was almost 6 months before we had the first expansion for it. And I think that was just too long. The base game itself was good, but there wasn't 6 months of good in it to keep people coming back constantly. So I think the player base dropped a bit, but then it built back up when the first lot of DLC came out. And that's when DICE got their acts together and decided, you know what, we need to have a better roadmap for this game, or people are just going to bugger off again and not bother with it. So they pulled the fingers out, they got the DLC rolling properly, they staggered the DLC launches so you had a couple of maps launched rather than all the maps launched together. And that brought me back into the game, and I've been enjoying it since. Turning Tides, I've been playing that a little bit recently on the CTE, and now it's in early access for the premium members. I think it comes out fully next week, I'm not too sure actually, but I've been enjoying that. Each lot of DLC brings me back to the game, but I still do find myself just falling out of love with it after a few weeks, and I don't know why, because I massively enjoy playing it. There's just something about it that stops it being my favourite game of the year. There's just this little thing, I don't know what it is, but like I say, I love the game. Graphic wise, sound wise, player mechanics wise, you just can't beat it. I think it's one of the best out there. So really looking forward to see what they do with the next Battlefield game. Obviously there's the rumours that they'll take it to World War II, there's the rumours that it'll be Bad Company, it'll be going to Vietnam. Really hope that comes out, but yeah. I still love this game. There's the Incursions, which is still in alpha, I believe. I've played a little bit of that and I enjoyed that. But yeah, I think maybe one thing that puts people off with this game is that just now there's so many maps and modes for this game, you just don't know what the hell to play. And every time you add a new map and a new mode, you fragment the community. And fragmentation with a game like this is always risky, because if you fragment it too much, then you'll have modes that just don't have enough people supporting them, maps where enough people just don't play them. So, but yeah, still one of my favourite titles. Next up on my list is Call of Duty World War II, and again, maybe not a lot of people will agree with this, but one of the things that makes this a good title for me is the campaign mode. I do like the multiplayer, I think the multiplayer is good. I think it builds on previous multiplayers, but it is still that fast and frantic playing, which puts a lot of people off, and I have to be in the mood to play a game like that. Sometimes I like the slow strategic moving game like what you get from something like PUBG, but now and again I like to have the fast and frantic, and that's definitely where Call of Duty comes into its own. But as I say, loving the campaign on that game right now. I haven't finished it, I think I must be about halfway through it I reckon, but it's just epic in parts. You cannot deny the cinematic epicness of the set pieces within the campaign within that game. It's what sets it apart from other Call of Duties. It's why it's one of the best selling Call of Duties I think in 4 or maybe 5 years, and I can see why it is. It's the same gameplay mechanics with a World War II skin over the top, but it can be forgiven for that because it does pull it off quite well. I'm enjoying playing it. The multiplayer, not so much. They've put a lot into it, I think, and they've tried to put things into it that will bring you coming back with to the daily missions and things like that, and you can earn coins and blah blah blah. But then they go and spoil it by doing, you can watch other people open loot boxes. Well, why would you? It's just. And there are rumours that there are paid loot boxes locked in there somewhere, but those haven't come out yet. I think those will stay well and truly buried after the furore of Battlefront, but we'll see. But yeah, massively enjoying this game. I'm going to finish the campaign over the Christmas holidays. Might do a little review of it as well. But yeah, it's just good old Call of Duty as we know and love or hate. So yeah, definitely makes it into my top 5. Next up is Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Now, I massively enjoyed Wolfenstein, the first game. I thought it was just a standout title of that year. I think, was it 2013, 2014 it came out? And it was just your bog standard good single player game, and I enjoyed it a lot. When they said that the second one was coming out, I thought, yes, I'm definitely up for more of that, and I'm really enjoying it. It's maybe not as good story-wise as the first one. I think the story is good, and when you start playing the game, you're thrown into a really brutal universe that kind of shocks you a bit. I'm quite staggered by the amount of racism that's put into this game, and it's not in a bad way. It's done it in the context of the game, but it does shock you a little bit. So, and some of the scenes in the game with the lead protagonist, I forgot what her name is, but you will know if you've played the game. You know, some of the scenes with her are just outrageous, really. She's quite a brutal dictator, and but yeah, really enjoying the game. I'm liking the campaign, slowly working my way through it. And another plus point for this game is that it is just that, just a single player game, and there aren't many of them out there. So I think that the gaming universe as a whole will have you believe that single player campaign games are dying. I don't think that's the case. I just think there's not so many AAA people doing them anymore. They're more into the open world multiplayer kind of arena with the games. So the single player campaigns are kind of left behind a little bit, but they are out there, and Wolfenstein 2 is a perfect example of one. Definitely pick it up over the holidays if you can. It's been discounted quite a lot heavily just lately, and it's definitely worth a go in my opinion. It's just a straight up good single player game. Next up in my top 5 is Destiny 2. Now, another game that's a bit of a Marmite game for a lot of people. You either love it or you hate it, and I was really excited when they said they were bringing this to the PC. First person shooters belong on the PC in my opinion. They're wasted on controllers on consoles, but you know, that's a very controversial opinion. But yeah, I was glad when it came to the PC, been enjoying playing it, and I've got to say that the Curse of Osiris expansion wasn't what I wanted it to be. The actual game itself wasn't what I wanted it to be. I think in terms of laying out the storyline, it was quite poor at doing that. We were promised that there would be so much storyline within the game that players would get sick of it, and that just wasn't the case. It was quite flat again. They got rid of the Grimoire cards, which told you the lore of the game, and a lot of people were asking for those to come back. So, but I've enjoyed playing it. I like the fact that it's quite seamless with your matchmaking with people, and you can join the fire teams, and you can just get along, play the game, and then go off in your separate ways. So the matchmaking for the guided games for playing in the raids and things like that, my experience of that so far has been crap. You know, you sat for 45 minutes sometimes waiting for a seeker to show you through the game, and nothing happens. You just don't get included in one. You're waiting for an eternity and nothing happens. So I think a lot of work needs doing with that. But it is of course a mechanic within the game that's currently in beta, so that needs a lot of changes to be done to it. But I am enjoying the game, and it's a game that keeps me coming back for some reason. I don't know why, because there's always something to do every day. There's always the challenges and everything to do, and it's the only game I know that can keep me coming back just to get that little bit of new gear, just to get my light level up by another level. It's become a little bit of an obsession of mine, and I've noticed that when I log into the Battle.net and you can see when your friends last logged on, and there's a couple of people I know out there, a couple of YouTubers I know out there that started playing this game, and they've not touched it since it's launched. So I think I'm just one of the only ones I know that still is playing it. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's just a good game. You can jump in for 20 minutes, half an hour, blast some enemies, and then just jump back out. I'm massively enjoying it. Looking forward to the next expansion. I hope it does better than Curse of Osiris. It better do anyway, because I think a lot of people will just then dump this game if it doesn't build on that better. But yeah, definitely makes it in my top 5 for this year. And last but not least for my top 5, it has to be PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. This has just been a massive title for me this year. It's probably been why this isn't a top 10 of the year, because PUBG for me has stolen about 7 months of my gaming life this year, for definite. It's just been a massive title for me. Gaming wise, I love it. I just love the way it plays, I love the quirkiness of it, I love the bugs within it, I just love it from top to bottom, and it's only getting better now. It's gone into PC 1.0, version 1.0, so they class that as a full release. I don't class it as a full release because I still think it's a broken ass game, but being a broken ass game is what makes it fun to play. So, but for the social experience, for the guys that I game with, it brought us together a lot more. We've had some brilliant sessions, you know, sessions where we've sat for 6-7 hours just laughing and joking whilst playing this game. So socially, it's brought us together. It's made me a lot of new friends. You know, it's pushed my YouTube channel in a new direction, putting the gameplay videos on. I've done the collab with Psycho Ghost, hoping to do more collabs as the future goes on. But yeah, this game, I don't know, sometimes you play this game and you think, what the fuck am I doing playing this? It's a piece of shit. But you just can't get off it, you just get addicted to it, and it's, I don't know, there's just something there that keeps you coming back to this game. I don't know what it is, whether it's the thrill of the chase, whether it's just to have a laugh with your friends. I can't recommend this game enough. Obviously it's out on the Xbox now, so if you're an Xbox gamer you can play it on there as well. It's even more broken on there than it is on the PC, but rest assured they will fix that, I'm sure of that. But yeah, it is definitely, and it takes my #1 spot in my top 5. It is the #1 game for me this year, without a shadow of a doubt. Nothing has come close to the fun that I've had with this game. You know, AAA titles for me haven't touched this game. It's left them in the dust. So yeah, #1 in my games of the year. Now with that being said, there are some other games that need notable mentions for me that have filled in some of my gaming for this year. Obviously before PUBG came along I needed to distract myself, so I was doing a lot of Battlefield 1, but I was also playing Mafia 3. Now this is another game that was out last year, and I bought it and I played about an hour of it and then I didn't bother with it again. And then one Saturday morning after work I just went back to it and I carried on playing it until I'd finished the story mode of that game. And I've got to say, it is a standout title for me this year. I maybe should have included it in my top 5, but it was, if it was to be included, it'd be #6, definitely. Really enjoyed playing this game. The storyline was good, the graphics were good, the detail and the animation within the game was good, the setting was authentic. I just, you know, really enjoyed it. Next up, Resident Evil 7, another game that I enjoyed. I haven't finished it yet, much to my dismay. Something that I'm going to have to go back to and finish, but it took the series back to where it used to be. It took it back to the old time scares that it used to have. You know, Resident Evil after the first couple of games massively lost its way. It just went off into the desert to find itself, and it never did. So, but this was a return to form, and it was a return to form without zombies, which was quite unique. But yeah, the setting, the storyline, loved it. I think they did really well with that, and massive thumbs up to Capcom for that. They definitely brought things back to where they needed to be. Another game for me was Prey. Really enjoyed playing this game. Zapped a few hours of my life back in, what was it, February time I think when it came out. Really enjoyed that. The graphics were good, the gameplay was good, the setting was quite unique. It was that kind of Bioshock kind of setting. And yeah, a good standalone single player game. I really enjoyed it. Battlefront 2, yeah, not everybody's cup of tea, but again, another game that I've enjoyed playing this year. Single player campaign was quite good in it, I enjoyed that. The multiplayer is, barring the people that have bought their way to the top, it is quite good. You know, there is a good game there underneath all of the bullshit that's been surrounding it. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that game too. And they are pretty much all of the games that I've enjoyed playing this year. Of course, there was my top 5. We had Battlefield 1, Call of Duty World War 2, Wolfenstein 2, Destiny 2, and of course PUBG at #1. And the notable mentions, there were a lot of other games through the year, but I just don't feel that many of them really need a mention. Agents of Mayhem, that filled in a couple of weekends for me and I never bothered with it again. Still working my way through Forza Horizon 3. Didn't bother with Forza Motorsport 7. I just didn't really... I don't buy into the whole track racing thing. I prefer the more open world kind of setting that Horizon 3 gives you. And yeah, I say lots of other games, but not really worth a mention to be fair. So looking forward to next year, even though there aren't that many titles that are on the horizon right now. You've got Crackdown 3, Far Cry 5, and other than that, I don't really think there's that much out there that I'm looking forward to right now. I think I want to see how PUBG develops and where that goes in the future. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done on that. There's another map to be done yet. So yeah. Anyway, that was my top 5 of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Just thought I'd do something a little bit different. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care.